Greetings, my sports to the bone people. Back at it again with another video. Thank you all for checking this one out. Now, as we get prepared to take on New Zealand in this 3-match ODI series, I just want to spend some time zooming in on what Captain Shea Hope had to say coming out of the T20 series. I was listening to the post-match interview after the 5th game, and, I found majority of what Shea Hope was saying interesting. So we're going to go through this interview. For my regular viewers and subscribers, you know that at the end of the series or end of any series, I like to take a listen to the captain and, just give my feedback. So just give a listening ear until the end, and you can let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Now, the main thing that I got coming out of that interview was that Shea Hope was pleased with the series performance from the boys. Obviously there are some things that he wants us to improve upon, but according to Shea Hope, they were good signs all around, and they are going to take the positives. So, according to Hope, throughout the series, they wanted to show intent. It was all about trying to put the bowlers under pressure and not allowing them to settle. Especially in the 5th and final T20 game, we saw where they went out there, and I don't want to say guns blazing, but it seemed as if they were pressing on the front foot, even when we were losing wickets rapidly, right? So I guess that sort of gives us an idea of why the guys were going like that. Captain Hope was saying that, they want to put good bowling under pressure and not let them settle. Especially when you're talking about the power play. He's saying that, it's something that they have to look at, losing all those wickets and trying to actually put runs on the board. Man is saying that we need to put good bowling under pressure, but we have to find a way to make sure that we are not leaking wickets. I don't know my viewers and subscribers. I think this is something that we have struggled with for a long time now. Wanting to control the power play while being able to maintain enough wickets to really make sure that we can take the game right down to over number 20. So according to Shea Hope, this is something that we need to work on. But, he actually gave credit to the low order batsmen, saying that they performed through the entire series, because whenever the top order isn't clicking, the lower order, they have to come in and really make sure that they basically bail us out. So he was saying that there are a lot of pleasing signs all around. That's his word, not mine. A lot of pleasing signs all around. He said that there are areas that we can improve on, but they are taking the positives. Areas that we can improve on, but they are taking the positives. He spoke about going into this series, saying that going up against New Zealand in conditions like that, you definitely want to get there a good bit before the series and put in some good preparation. He was saying that they are not looking excuses or anything, but they didn't have the sort of preparation that they wanted, and that definitely affected how they performed. He's saying that conditions aren't what they are used to. So the fact that they aren't used to these type of conditions, especially with the younger players, they had to try and fight fire with fire right on the spot, basically, is what he was trying to say. No, he also said going forward as a team, they definitely need to focus on a few things. Talking about their mentality, physically, their mentally, how they perform physically and skill wise. So going into the ODIs, these are some things that Shea Hope identified coming out of the T20s that they they really and truly need to get right. I was saying that they need to put all of these together to make sure that they are putting together a good performance, and they are consistent. It's going to be interesting, my viewers and subscribers, to see how we go. Having to face 50 overs instead of 20. It'll be interesting to see how they pace themselves. We see they're bringing the likes of John Campbell into the team, right? They have a couple bowlers in, new bowlers, but somebody like a John Campbell, we know he's attacking, but he has been a part of the test team recently, so you would think that's a little bit of solidity that they would be expecting at the top there from him, but it's, we have to see. But one of the things that I found interesting was She-Hope saying that going into the fifth and final game, he doesn't think they were as ready as they needed to be as a team, right? They weren't as ready as they needed to be, and if they are not ready physically, mentally, and skill-wise, then they are not going to be able to really put on the performance that they want. So he has identified all of that, but according to Hope, having said all of this, there are still some pleasing signs, and they are taking the positives. So looking forward to this ODI series. Hope spoke about the usual things that we always hear prior to a series. Looking to get better starts. I mean, the bowlers have been doing well, so he identified that the bowlers have been doing well. So the batsmen will definitely have to chip in and make sure that all the work isn't left on the bowlers. So we definitely await to see this, my people. But my question to you all in the comment section, are we? I mean, I understand going overseas and playing in conditions that you are not used to, taking on a team that is better than you are. Are we expecting too much? When we hear the skipper saying that, boy, there are good signs all around. Are we expecting too much? The first few games, fans will still cling to the thought that we could have secured the first 3 games or so, right? But is it that we can say it's good signs because we're getting close, or are we supposed to feel, boy, it's 2 steps forward and 5 backwards because we still cannot get over the line? I don't want it to seem as if I'm shooting down what the captain is saying, but I'm just wondering if, based on how, I don't know. I don't know that what I witnessed throughout that series, there are good signs all around. I I can admit that they showed some fight. They showed some fight in away conditions, but it would appear to me as if Hope is saying there are more positives than negatives that they are taking from this series. So I just want to engage a comment section to hear what you all think on that, if there are all good signs around. Going into the World Cup in a few months' time, we're definitely gonna need to get across that line. It's not a place that we can go and say there are good signs all around and the guys are coming along. We have to be able to get over the line. When we put ourselves in a situation or in position to win games, we have to get over the line. We're thirsty. We're thirsty for certain comments after game. We want to hear that, yes, man. We're happy the boys were able to get over the line. We're happy that they paced themselves. We are sort of tired of hearing that it's looking good, it's good signs, a lot of positives we are getting there. We want to hear after we get across the line. We want to hear that more often, but as I said, I might be expecting too much. So let me gauge the comment section, because if we can just lose a series 3-1 like that when we we're in positions and not even only say that, even if you look at how we played the 5th game, and then you would say there are a lot of positives coming around all around, or a lot of good signs. I want to engage the comment section. You all let me know if I am expecting too much, or the team is really and truly improving and I am not following. Big up.